This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Morning Tailgate here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Crispy Bacon, here with Big Game James. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. Getting ready to cold weather and had to get a big jacket on.
There you go. It is getting colder. Winter's arrive, and anything can happen. I'm also here with Tim Primus. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Unlike James, who's over in California, I'm in Italy, so I've had the Cold War. I've had the cold gear out for a little bit longer. So yeah, other than that, trying to survive.
That's all we're trying to do. And I'm also here with Big B. How you doing, Big B?
Well, I'm doing good. Unlike James that's over in California, you got Tim over in Italy. I'm over in the Midwest here in Minnesota. We know what happens up here, and Tim does too. So we're kind of hoping that doesn't come around anytime soon. But, it's kind of a cloudy, rainy day. Just ready to talk a little bit of football before I go into work.
Yeah, there's a lot of games this week. One game kind of started already as far as the Sunday goes, and it's a very intense matchup. Not really. Carolina's winning 10-0 against New York Giants. They just started the third quarter, so I think this is kind of going according to plan, maybe, that it's not a high-scoring game. And I think everybody here is picking Carolina. I think I got New York.
I got New York too.
That's right.
Okay. Yep, I've spoken again. I went with the Panthers.
Oh, they're up. They're up 10-0 right now. And then on Thursday, I didn't see the matchup, but the Baltimore Ravens won 35-34. Looks like a close matchup. What's everybody's thought on that one? Is Cincinnati basically out?
Ooh, good question. I watched some of that game. The Bengals started off hot, then kind of died out, and then the Ravens came out in the second half. Couple bad calls there towards the end, but Bengals being out, that's a good question. I mathematically, I know they're not out, but they got to figure out what's going on there because they, on paper, everybody picks them to be a playoff contender, possible Super Bowl team, and they just can't figure it out. So I think they might have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and see what is missing. But I can't count them out yet. They're still a tough team.
James?
The interesting thing is, I guess, when you look at the standings, they're not technically out of it. They just got to hope some of the AFC kind of falls apart at the bottom. They probably can't get they won't get the division, but you can try to get one of those wild card spots. So And that seems to be open. I mean, even if the Jets have a chance, you have a chance. So they're right in the thick of things. They're lucky that the Colts aren't that good. The Broncos and the Chargers may peter out. Who knows? So they still got a shot for that last wild card spot to me.
Tim?
I honestly, somewhere I blinked out in there. Can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, is Carolina out after this
Was
loss?
Carolina
They're,
out? Oh,
like,
Carolina.
eliminated.
Cincinnati.
I mean, Cincinnati. Cincinnati.
Carolina's been out since week 1. Cincinnati, I don't know what the deal is with Cincinnati. It's crazy how Cincinnati's like Big B said, we all pretty much figured Cincinnati was going to be a playoff team, and yet it seems like every week the ball bounces a different way, and it's straight. I don't think they're out, but there's a bottleneck for that last wild card spot at this point. Too many teams and not enough spots.
No, I mean, I guess anything's possible, but and Cincinnati can sneak in, but it's gonna be tough going forward in this second half. So I think at this point Baltimore's just they're going to play these games, and I think they're going to win most of them and lock up a playoff spot, if not already.
Just remember, this game was so close. It came down to the penalties that the flags didn't come out by the referees, and it really hurt the Bengals. And then going for 2 on the road, I don't know. Man, I would have tied that game the way that the Raven defense was not showing up late in that game. What do you guys feel like that situation when you're on the road and you're down 1 and you decide to go for 2? Do you like that move or not?
Go for 1.
I think honestly, I think if you're going to go for 2 on the road, you have to look at what you've been doing. I think you have to take a look at how you've been playing on third down. If you've been doing well on third down, it means that you can deal with the pressure. I think going for 2, to me, it's a general mistake because I would have taken that, especially like you said, where the defense for the Ravens wasn't really showing up late in the game. I think you take it to overtime and you just kind of take it to the Ravens in overtime. I'd have gone for 1 in that spot.
And a divisional game too.
Exactly.
Unless the Ravens win the coin toss and
you don't see the ball.
Right. Because that overtime is different than most. So, in Tennessee, we're going to have Will Levis start again.
No.
For the
I taken that
Titans.
game. As soon as you said Will Levis is starting, who did I take in that game? Okay.
I guess we could pick games since you have it out. New England and Chicago, they're facing off in the early window. I guess both these teams are playing well. Chicago's playing better than most expected, I guess. But who's everybody's pick? We'll go with the Prime Moose.
They're coming off of a back-to-back. Chicago's coming off a back-to-back loss, and then you got the Patriots who just came off a win last week, who I didn't really think was going to happen. I like Chicago. Chicago's a pretty heavy favorite against New England. I like that offense against the defense, but I've had to eat my words a lot, especially last week where I went 6-9. So basically, anything coming out of my mouth was a bunch of trash. But I like the Bears this week.
You like the Bears? All right.
Yes, sir.
Big B.
Yeah, this one is going to be a good game. You get to see a couple of young quarterbacks, see how they can handle it. Of course, down in Chicago, probably getting a little cold, a little windy down there, so we'll get to see how they battle with that. I'm with Tim. I like that. I like the Bears. And Tim, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I made this my lock for the week.
You did.
Ooh.
Yep,
Made the Bears a lot.
Bears the lock.
All right.
Yep, on the lock.
James.
Surprisingly, it's only going to be 63 degrees at Soldier Field, so it'd be good enough for Caleb Williams to do his thing, maybe without sleeves. The Giants just scored a touchdown. Breaking news. Okay, Patriots have lost their last 4 out of 5. The Bears didn't even show up last week in Arizona, so they really need this game to stay in the thick of things. And there's reports out there Eberflus may get fired if the Patriots rise up and win today in Chicago. But I think Chicago holds on. I think it'd be a sloppy, ugly game. Chicago's just not right now. That's a double negative. But yeah, hopefully the Patriots, probably Drake May will be able to do well against that Chicago defense. But I'm going to go Chicago in this, slightly winning this game.
Yeah, I'm going Chicago too. I'm surprised that you're saying that Eberflus maybe let go after this game if they do lose, because they have.
Because look at the last 2 weeks. They had the Hail Mary, and then they didn't show up in Arizona. There's rumblings in the locker room that they're not playing for them anymore. Stevenson is in and out of the practice team and out of the lineup. There's just so much division right now with the Bears. And Eberflus has always been on the hot seat. So an embarrassing loss to the Patriots may bring this out.
And speaking of his old team, he coached for, we got Buffalo going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Brian Moose, who do you got for this one?
Oh, this one's after last week's stupid debacle, Indy. It's going to be tough. I understand that we're still starting Flacco, but we don't have Pittman. So we've got Treadwell coming off the practice squad. I'd like to say this is going to be a close game. We've lost games by every game we've played this year has only been a 1-score difference. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills, and you know what? I'm going to do myself a disservice and call it a lock.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's gutsy.
Talk about somebody being high today.
Big B, who's your pick?
Yeah, I don't see, and again, I mean, I know everybody has a chance to win. That's why they call it every get them in Sunday. But that game's in Buffalo, right?
No, that's in
No.
Indy.
Oh, that is in Indy. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I still got to go Buffalo. I think the Buffalo's still, the all-around better team. I mean, I think it'll be close though.
Remember now, you got to remember the last time that Buffalo quarterback starting in Indy. The last time they won in Indy was Doug Flutie against Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Wow.
99, 2000?
I think that was like 2000, 2001 or something like that.
Yeah, I got Buffalo in a close one.
James?
Wow, that's a good stat there, Tim. The Bills, they have won their last 4 in a row. They're on a hot streak. They've scored more than 30 points their last 3 games. They're on a hot streak right now. In the past, I would say maybe the Colts defense can force some turnovers from Josh Allen, but Josh isn't playing that way. He's been pretty good this year where he hasn't turned over the ball at any rate, so he's been really good with that. Colts right now, they're trying to find themselves. Joe Flacco's got to do better. It's almost like a thing, like I say, if they keep switching quarterbacks and they don't have one, and not having Pittman there today is going to really hurt the Colts. They're going to have to rely a lot on Alec Pierce. And then Jonathan Taylor, hopefully they get him going too. That's the only shot they have, I think. If the running game isn't there, the Bills win this easily. So I'm going to go Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo too. Although it is not in the confines of the Bills Stadium, I think Buffalo's still a strong enough team. You do have Flacco on the other side, who is a veteran of this game, and he is really good. I think this is going to be, as far as the quarterbacks go, I think it's going to be a close game. But I got Buffalo in this one. In the AFC West, a divisional matchup with the Broncos and the Chiefs. Chiefs are at home. I'll go with James. Who's your
Okay,
pick?
so I feel like this game is going to be pretty easy. It's almost going to be like the Baltimore game last week for Denver, where they stay in it just for like a quarter or so. But something tells me a little bit more because the Chiefs aren't as good, but they'll eventually rise up and win. So I'm going to go Kansas City. It'll probably be like 31-13. I just feel like Denver, they'll stay in the game just for a little bit more, but then eventually they'll lose out, and Kansas City will find their way. They just got to get back to, I think, a better running game. I think Kansas City will get that. So I'm going with the Chiefs, and this will be my lock.
All right. Let's go Big B.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Well, I mean, Kansas City's still the only undefeated team. They're looking pretty good. They're, depending on what fan base or who you talk to, they got the rest in their pocket. But just like every good team, they want to look at, some reason why they're always winning. The way James was talking, I thought for sure he was going to maybe take an upset here on this one. But I can't bet against Kansas City. I think it'll be a good game, close game. But I'm going to go Kansas City.
All right. Primus.
Yeah, I was an overtime away from having my lock hit last week. That sucked. I thought I pulled out the lock of the decade. But yeah, I think this is the first time all season that Patrick Mahomes is on a positive touchdown to interception ratio all season. He's at 11-2. He's at 11-9 now. So, for all those people who think that Patrick Mahomes should be MVP, really need to think long and hard about that just because we're not an undefeated team. I think the big thing that Kansas City's got going right now, they've got Kareem Hunt running the ball. Like he's back in his freshman year in the NFL. I've got Kansas City. I think this, like everybody's saying, I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be this could be one of those who has the ball last. But I've got Kansas City.
I got Kansas City too. The only question I have is, how's the leg of Patrick Mahomes? Because he can run the ball too at times. And I know that was not it was a non-contact injury, so that one was a close call last week, if you're a Chiefs fan. But Falcons and the Saints, NFC South, rival game. Let's go to Primus.
We got what? We've got New Orleans coming up, are on a 7-game losing streak. They just lost their head coach, which if anybody watched last week, we did not pick in the coaches that pool. We picked everybody but Dennis Allen. But I like Atlanta. I don't think that the winning record of an interim head coach is going to come into play today. I like what Atlanta is doing, especially against the weak New Orleans Saints team. I think it's going to be even better. I've got Atlanta.
All right, Big B.
Yeah. This game I kind of flip-flop back and forth. Thinking about it all week, especially after the firing. You got Kirk Cousins who's doing his thing. Not as productive, though, I would say, like he was in Minnesota, but he's getting there. Yeah, you got to go with Atlanta on this one, I think. So I'm going to Atlanta.
James?
I do remember mentioning about Dennis Allen. If they lost to the Panthers, they could fire him, and they did fire him. So I'm just shocked because Derek Carr got the same coach fired twice in his career
Yeah,
back
I
in
saw that
Oakland.
stat. Yeah.
So the Falcons coming in winning 4 out of 5, and then the Saints losers of 7 straight, like Tim mentioned. They had so much dysfunction, after the game, and Michael Thomas on Twitter or X was airing out Carr and the Saints. I'm sick of picking games just based on revenge or a new coach or a new attitude. I'm just sick of that. But guess what? Kirk Cousins is on the other side. And even though he's playing well, he can self-destruct at any time. That's what I'm worried about. And Drake London is questionable as well. So I'm torn, going the same way I've always been with, hey, it's a rejuvenal game for the Saints. They're at home. Everything's trending toward them. But I'm going to go Falcons. I'm going to go against my, new thinking. I'm going to go with this Falcons. I think they still get it done. They have so many weapons. They do it on the ground. They do it through the air, and they're indoors. So, they're just going from one dome to another. I just want to see how many Falcon fans show up to New Orleans this week. I'm going Falcons.
I'm going Falcons too. I don't really go off of, like you were saying, James, of it's a revenge game, new coach, old coach. I kind of go off of
I did last year with the Raiders, and look how they are now. Now nobody wants to play for Antonio Pierce.
I just kind of go off of what have you done kind of in the last few games, and sometimes last season depending on the matchup, but I'm going Falcons. It is a dome to a dome basically, but I'm sure New Orleans, the Saints fans are going to be, loud and probably hype up the team as much as possible since they're not, playing in the game, but maybe they can help at least spark a little bit heading into the rest of the season and maybe into next season. Who knows? 49ers at the Buccaneers. Big B, who do you got?
This was another game too. I kind of debated on all week. San Fran is getting healthy. The Bucs have been playing, semi decent a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how they bring McCaffrey back. I know a lot of people have him in fantasy. I won't name anybody in our 4 group here, but I'd be kind of cautious.
That'd be me.
Yeah, I'd be kind of cautious in playing them, but outside of that, I think that might be a good one punch duel there with McCaffrey and Madison if they can get on the same page. I think this one's going to be a close game. I am going to go San Fran still because I still think they are the complete team. And we'll just kind of see. I mean, if McCaffrey's hot, they're going to stick with them, but I think he's on a little bit of a snap count.
All right, James.
Man, this game is so injury ridden, so that's why I hate about it, because predicting it. I think the Niners win, but it's going to be a real close game, and it's not going to be high scoring at all. It'll come down to maybe 3 or 6 points. I want to go Tampa Bay so bad, but only if they had Evans and they had Godwin. But I'm going to go San Francisco. I think they bounce back from their bye week, too. That's important that they get going. They need to get back control of the NFC West, and I think they have some part of that today with the Niners winning.
Tim?
So as the lowly member of our fantasy teams that have Christian McCaffrey, I am that guy. I have him on 2 teams, and I just get a note saying that McCaffrey is in for today, and then I'm going to break some news to Brandon that Mac Jones is going to be the starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Minnesota Vikings because Lawrence is out. That being said, I think McCaffrey is going to be on a pitch count. I think you're going to see split time between Mason and McCaffrey. This might be a closer game if Tampa actually had Godwin and Evans, but I think you're going to be looking at a lot of Otten for Tampa Bay in the red zones. It's going to be a close game, like everybody says, but I still think it's going to be San Francisco.
It's going to be a close game. I'm going to make this my lock, and I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say Tampa Bay.
Oh.
The bowl.
Chris, what are you smoking down there in the big Texas area? Holy cow!
He's running off the high of the butt whooping that the Longhorns put up against Florida yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Wow. Baker's been good, but Cousins has been good, or not Cousins. Purdy's been good. I don't know how having McCaffrey's going to help. I know he's been out for a little bit, for a long, extent, but it's also Tampa's at home and they have that crowd, so I don't know.
If you've ever seen that crowd, they're kind of weird.
Oh, I've seen that video. What was it, that Monday night game in Baltimore, and the people were switched in that situation. That was kind of weird.
Next, we have Steelers and Commanders. Commanders are at home. James, who do you got?
Okay, by the way, Carolina mixed the extra point. They did get a touchdown, though. It's 16 to no, I guess he made it. My team is backwards.
Yeah, he made it.
17-7. Carolina is leading that. Giants also scored while we were doing this. Commanders, they come in winning 4 out of 5. The Steelers off of their bye week. Both are first place. This is the only game I'm interested in watching. Maybe this whole Sunday. There's so much intrigue with this game. I'm really happy to see it. I just want to see, because this is the first real test for Jalen Daniels against a really great defense. When you really think about it, we were thinking the Bears was, but up until that last play it was. But Steelers, I want to see if TJ Watt can get in there and force Daniels to either throw the ball away or try to go up the middle and see if the linebackers are going to be the key for the Steelers today, and keeping Jalen Daniels in the pocket and making the decisions that he doesn't want to make. But it all starts with TJ Watt and then goes to Hayward and the linebackers behind him. Secondary is going to be key too. So, man, Washington's defense, they could really make an impact today. Their young defense going after Wilson. This game should be close. It should be fun. You're going to see some key turnovers, I think, in this game. I want to see, too, and I know I always mention the crowd, but you know how Steeler fans usually take over any stadium on the road. I want to see if that's the case in Washington, or because it's their best start in 2020, will Commander fans come out to watch their team, or will Steeler fans take over? All that being said, man, I can't wait for this one. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh in this game. I think they get enough turnovers to get it done. I'm not saying Jalen Daniels will struggle, but he'll have a couple of downs where it'll cost him the game, I think. This will be another learning lesson like week 1 was, because he's facing a really, really strong defense. So I'm going Pittsburgh.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
What's going on?
Holy cow! We got Chris picking the Bucks in the lock. We got Messerol showing up wearing that ugly orange shirt. I mean,
Right. Justin Fields.
We're just on the Steelers game. Speaking of Justin Fields, who do you got for that one? The Steelers are facing Washington.
Dude, that's going to be a tough game. Both teams are really playing really good right now. I'm going to take the Steelers because that defense.
All right. What about? I'm sure I got okay. Bills and the Colts.
Who's playing the Colts?
Bills.
Oh, the Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills. It's not even a question. It's the Bills. Sorry, Tim.
Broncos at the Chiefs.
I like what Bo Nix is playing. I think it's going to be better than a lot of people think.
All right. Falcons at the Saints.
The Falcons. Kirk Cousins got that team playing really good. Minnesota probably misses him. Not as much as you think because of Darnold, but imagine what they'd be doing with Cousins right now.
49ers at the Buccaneers.
Niners are kind of beat up. I'm going to take the Bucs.
Tim, who do you got for Steelers and Commanders?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a defense that Daniels has never seen. I think the defensive coordinator is going to ramp up the blitz. I like Pittsburgh again. I think this is going to be the game of not only the afternoon, but I think it's going to be the game of the week. It's got that potential. It's going to be I think it's going to be one of the first true tests, the playoff type tests that they're going to go through. Yeah, I've got Pittsburgh in this game.
All right.
So for me,
Big B.
yeah. So for me, this game is going to be a good game. I mean, you got probably the front runner for the Rookie of the Year. You got probably one of the top two guys for Coach of the Year. You got Tomlin on the other side. You got the comeback player in Russell Wilson or Fields, depending on what they're going to do. I am going to go out and I'm going to say the Commanders are going to keep this one going, but it will be a close game. Before I leave those two guys, the Vikings game scares me with Mac Jones starting. And if Dallas loses, McCarthy gets fired. Have a good day.
Ooh, all right.
He stole my Deadpool. What the heck is that all about?
You do what?
He stole my Deadpool.
Oh.
Yeah.
James, here's your pick.
Oh, I picked Pittsburgh over Washington.
Okay, yeah. I got Washington over Pittsburgh. Washington's been playing, good football. But so is Pittsburgh. It's going to be a toss-up, I think, but I got Washington in this one. Big B made his pick for the Vikings at the Jaguars. Mess around. Who do you got?
I already picked. I picked the Vikings, remember?
Okay. James.
I'm going to go Minnesota. I don't think it would be close. Jacksonville with Mac Jones, I don't trust that. I mean, if you don't trust Trevor Lawrence, you're not going to trust Mac Jones. If there's a blowout, I think Peterson gets fired. I really do. This one. And I want to see how much purple's in the crowd in North Florida today.
I'm sure there's going to be a few, maybe. Tim.
That's another crowd that I've seen too many times. I think there's going to be a lot of purple in that crowd. You've got, and I know James doesn't like revenge games and picking games on revenge games, but this is a Cam Robinson revenge game for the Vikings. He gets traded to go to the just before the Colts game. This has got blowout written all over it. Again, I'm not worried about Mac Jones. Mac Jones wasn't a worry in New England. He's not a worry in Jacksonville. Yeah, I like Minnesota in this game by a huge. Yeah, they're going to be moving Jacksonville to London by the time this game's over.
Yeah, we said that last week about Jacksonville and Philly, and that was pretty close.
Yeah.
No.
That was close. I'm going to go with Minnesota. I mean, I picked Minnesota before I heard that Mac Jones was going to start for Jacksonville. But it'd be funny if Mac Jones in a new system just plays really well.
I don't see it.
I don't either, but I'm just, like we all say.
Airs it out. That would be cool.
And then you'd be like, yeah, New England, you shouldn't have got rid of me.
I mean, it's happened. I mean, look at Baker. He went bounced around and finally found his stride. Darnold with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
It's possible. Tennessee at the Chargers. Will Levis is starting for Tennessee.
Ugh.
God.
So,
Hide the mayo.
Wow. It's gonna be a great defensive battle. That's about as far as it's going to get because the only thing that bright spot in Tennessee is the defense. Other than that, nobody can figure out how to get themselves out of their own way in Tennessee. Well, Will Levis actually, I think, makes this team worse. Which it should be. Very and I've got members of my family that are Titans fans, and I think this has got potential being a blowout too. But I think I got the Chargers by 10.
Chargers by 10. All right, James.
This is an old one. What I used to say: if you hate football, you'll love this game. Defensively, both teams are really good, but the Chargers are historically good right now defensively. They are creating turnovers. They had a sack and turnover fest in Cleveland. So yeah, with Tennessee and Levis coming back, Calvin Ridley's going to have a blow up on the sideline. I think it's going to be a field goal game, possibly. The thing for the Chargers too. Last week they finally got back to the running game with J.K. Dobbins. They were trying to throw the ball in the air. They have Justin Herbert. It's weird because now they're going with a running game with a Harbaugh there, but you have a rifle, like Herbert. So he's being underutilized with the Chargers there. So maybe they can air it out. Maybe they have a couple of touchdowns through the air, through the ground as well. But Chargers in a semi blowout.
Yeah, I got the Chargers in this one. I don't think it really matters who you start for Tennessee. And who are you picking, Dave?
Yeah, what's funny is when Will Levis came out and he slipped and he slid to the second round of, what was it, third or fourth, something like that. Maybe a second, I can't remember. But Adam and I were watching the draft and I'm like, man, I think this guy's the best quarterback in this draft. That did not age well.
But it is.
I couldn't understand why he slid, and then now you look at it and you're like, okay, this is why. But I think there's going to be 3 defensive touchdowns in this game: 2 by the Titans and 1 by the Chargers. I mean, 2 by the Chargers and 1 by the Titans.
Ooh. No, but it is funny how when you watch the draft and you watch college players and you're like, I think he could be in the NFL, and then they get to the NFL and you're like, okay, maybe I was wrong. But that's with any player.
Well, think about it. If you think about Will Levis, right? Will Levis, where did he go to college? That should tell you right away that it was a bad idea. He went to Kentucky. Kentucky. What was the last? Can you name the last great quarterback that came from the University of Kentucky?
No,
Jared Lorenzen.
Jared Lorenzen, maybe, but no, it's Kentucky. So no, it's not a shock.
I like that guy, the fat quarterback.
Oh, I did too. Right. Too bad he passed away. Yeah, I loved him at Kentucky, but yeah. Did you see those? Are you watching the game? Where did you see
Yeah,
the
the hot
pretzels?
dog hat.
Holy!
Oh, those are pretzels?
Pretzels. The pretzels are about the size of a football.
Oh, I thought those were hot dogs.
The hats, yeah, but they were all eating pretzels right before they showed the hot dog hats, and I'm like,
Oh,
holy smokes, those things are huge.
everything's bigger in Germany.
Yeah.
You got the Eagles at the Cowboys. Things are going from bad to worse, I guess. Well, I don't know if that's really true. With Dak being out the rest of the season reportedly with a
Is it Trey
hamstring.
Lance time?
What was that?
Is it Trey Lance time?
No,
No.
it's Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush time.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and reportedly Parsons is back. So I guess that could help a little bit on the defensive side.
It'd be great if Parsons. That'd be great if Parsons was playing quarterback.
Hey, he wants to play every position. So I wouldn't be surprised if
We know he can talk, but can he play again?
He's fast. He
Huh?
can run. He can run.
Be doing a lot of wildcat with Parsons in the
Yeah.
backfield.
Right.
But I know Big B's probably watching. I'm gonna go Cowboys on this one. I haven't picked Cowboys in a little bit. They are at home.
Yeah,
You got to go with the team.
that's the only positive in that game is that they're at home, which means that after surgery that Dak Prescott can leave the hospital, go watch the game.
Although we are like, I think we played 3 or 4 games at home already, and we haven't won any of them.
That's
So,
true.
I mean,
Maybe
our
one
picks-
we won at home. No, you're 0-3 at home. Never mind.
Tim, who do you got?
I picked Mike McCarthy last week in the Deadpool, and when he lost, I thought, well, here it comes. And here I'm going again. I'm thinking, oh man, I love Cooper Rush. I really do.
I do too.
Problem is he's playing Philadelphia.
I think he's
I've got Philadelphia.
Philly.
I've got Philly in this game. I think it's going to be silly.
I think he's 1-0 against Philly. I could be wrong about that. James.
Okay. Oh man, what do you do with this game? So I see Diggs and Kendricks are questionable for the defense as well for Dallas. Do we all believe in Cooper Rush? I don't know. We haven't seen him play in a while. You know, we remember that Thanksgiving in Minnesota, but that was like what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
I got to go with Philly. You know, they've won their last 4. Dallas has lost their last 3. The thing that bothers me, and it's the thing that's going to hinder Philadelphia, is their coach, Sirianni, or whomever, that decides, hey, let's go for 2 every damn time. Like that they almost lost to Jacksonville. Instead of being up by 8 points, they lost by 5. They won by 5. Excuse me, they won by 5. If they don't do any stupid stuff like that, they should win this game. I just want to see how much Green shows up to Texas. Right now, everything's working, and I know Saquon Barkley loves to play against the Cowboys, and he loves to, run. I don't know if he'll do that one run like he did last week, where he had the spin move and then the backwards, whatever that thing was. But yeah, I'm gonna go Philadelphia unless they self-destruct. But I think they're really on a roll right now, where I don't think they can lose this game against Dallas.
One thing before I toss the mess around, it is a revenge game for Kellen Moore, who was the offensive coordinator for Dallas. And we haven't seen much of him since he's been bouncing around teams. So, Dave, who do you got?
You know what's funny? Dallas is so bad. They went and traded they could have got Hopkins for less than what they traded for Mingo from Carolina. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad. They got fleas for a guy that's only had 1 catch in the last 3 games or something like that. Terrible. Anyways, the only way I could see Dallas winning this game because I think Philly's like going like, oh, playing Cooper Rush, and it could be a trap game for them. So I'm going to pick Dallas by 3.
That's
Dallas
that's.
by 3.
I think Chris just fell out of a chair when you said that.
No. um, and do you think they should have went with Lance, or do you think Cooper Rush was the right decision?
Cooper Rush,
Yeah.
proven.
I kind of want to see Lance and see what he can do because nobody really knows. They had last time we seen him, we played against Chicago in the regular season. So
He played a little preseason.
Did he play it since then? I don't remember. But anyway, he played preseason.
Yeah.
Lance, I think, played preseason. I think Lance played preseason.
Yeah.
He did. He played preseason, but I'm talking regular season game.
Oh no, it's been a while.
Didn't he play a little bit last year for Dallas?
Maybe in garbage time, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But still, I kind of want to see what Lance can do.
Well,
I think he'd be good at running.
Dallas. Well, funny thing about Dallas this year, they haven't had garbage time.
That is true. That is true. I think this is the. What was that?
I thought every day in game was garbage time for Dallas since they've imploded.
That is probably true. Another game that James might, like his favorite thing, but the Cardinals are improving. We got the Jets at the Cardinals. Dave, what's your pick on this one?
Man, I thought last week was gonna be close with my Bears. Not even a game. Anyways, we're not talking about the Bears. I like the way the Cardinals are playing. They got a no-name defense. They got one guy on that defense that you can name, Baker, Buda Baker. Everybody else is like no name, and they're playing really well. The running game's really good. They got like 2 different backs that can do it, maybe 3, if you count Murray as a running back. But he didn't even really run last week against us. He ran one time for 6 yards, and I thought he was going to kill us with his legs. But I got the Cardinals winning this game.
I believe StreamYard's having technical issues with the Facebook names, but I believe this is Big B. Cowboys need to bring back DiNucci.
Yeah, that might be Big B.
Yeah. But I think he's still in the UFL, FFL, something like that. So.
DiNucci? No, DiNucci's in Buffalo.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
I did not know that.
You know where your guy is?
I know where DiNucci is. When you have to have a little thing, and when you have to have a flag in your back pocket for Chris, you gotta know where the guy's at.
Right.
Jim, who do you got for this game?
I think this is going to be a close game, but another one of those. This must have been a coin flip game or something to put this on. I don't know. I just don't like the game, but like Dave has said, that the Cardinals have been playing some good football. Jets have kind of come around. I want to be distinct on the word kinda. But I've got the Cardinals in this game too.
James?
I can't believe I'm going to be tuned into this game. I think all these years, both of these teams have been bad, other from the Cardinals, exception of like 2 or 3 years. But I can't wait for this one as well for the afternoon cap out here. It's a team about opposite directions though. The Jets, they finally got a win, but they lost 4 straight going into last week. And then the Cardinals have won 3 straight and 4 out of their last 5. Man, it's going to come down to, can the Cardinals defend the air weapons of the Jets? They're down a safety today, or he's questionable, I should say. Jalen Thompson, the safety for Arizona. See how the Jets defense can corral Murray, get him out of the pocket, make him throw the ball away, or make him just not do much. That would be interesting to see. It's going to be through the air, and then for both teams. And then with James Conner, I want to see how good he does against the Jets defense, rushing the ball. All year long, things have been trending bad for the Jets, I feel like, even though they still got a shot. And then for the Cardinals, they're getting hot right now. Man, it's almost like a pick'em game to me. I'm gonna go Arizona in this. I feel like they're confident. I just hope that Adams and Rodgers don't hook up a couple of times through the air for touchdowns. But yeah, I'm gonna go Arizona. I think they get it done. I know it'll be a pro New York crowd, I think, there too. But I'm gonna go Arizona. I feel confident in them.
All right. It is a toss-up game, but I'm going Arizona. I don't think signing Rodgers. It wasn't at the time it wasn't a bad signing. I think it is now. I don't think having him really helped the team much, and it's still not. So I don't know what they're going to do there. He should just retire, but I'm going Arizona. So Arizona's kind of the surprising team for me.
Mm-hmm. And
Hey,
Washington.
he said he found the fountain of youth with the cayenne pepper in the water.
I heard that too. He found that, and he says he feels a lot better. So I don't think it helped his game much. So
No.
for Sunday Night Football, I think this is. I don't know if it's a toss-up or it's an easy game, but you got the Lions at the Texans. James, who do you got?
Man, this is going to be hopefully a good one. The Lions are 4-0 away, and then you look at the Texans are 4-0 at home. Something's got to give. That's the problem with this game, though. The Texans are going to miss out on Diggs in this one. Nico Collins has a chance, I think, to play in this game. I think Dell is questionable, though. So if they don't have those two guys, they don't have a shot. I think the Lions, they're that good. They're so much on a roll right now. I don't know if we'll see Zadarius Smith today. We'll see if he plays.
My understanding is that Darius Smith isn't going to play due to personal
Okay.
reasons.
Okay, he should be playing. But yeah, I'm gonna go. It's an indoor game again for Jared Goff.
Or is it?
But or is it? It's kind of open, right? They can close
It's a
it.
retractable roof, but yeah.
And the weather's fine. It's fine for him. He showed last week though that he could play in any conditions now, even with the two gloves and all the rain that happened in Green Bay. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Lions. I think it's gonna be a rout. I think the Texans with CJ Stroud, they're having a sophomore slump, and then the Lions are just on a roll right now. So give me the Lions in a blowout.
And we have a Giants touchdown. Field goal is good. 3-point game, 17-14 with 8:33 to go in the game. Tim, who do you got?
This was the game that I had picked for being my Super Bowl pick to watch these two teams play. If this was this would be a great game if the Texans were healthy. My understanding is, what do I got? Nico Collins just came off the IR. He's questionable. Tank Dell, I believe, is playing. If I'm not mistaken. Tank Dell's questionable. Nico Collins is questionable. Like we said earlier, Zadarius Smith. This would have been a great game if they were completely healthy. And if they don't have either one of those two wide receivers, Houston's got a little bit of a problem. I've got Detroit. Detroit's coming in 7 winners of the last 7. That's scary by itself, and they're getting hot at the right time. Yeah, right time, just so they can go play Indy in a week, 2 weeks. Yeah, I got Detroit, but I think it's going to be a little closer.
Good for you. They did that just for you.
Yeah.
Mess around.
Didn't the last time Jared Goff play a primetime game, he had a perfect game, didn't miss a pass. This is another primetime game. I think Goff had another great game, and I don't think it's close. I think it's going to be like 24 to
The
10.
Monday night game against Seattle earlier this year.
Yeah. So Goff's been playing really well. I just picked him up in fantasy on one of my fantasy leagues, but I'm not starting him. I'm going to rank Caleb Williams still. I don't know why. Anyways, I think Detroit wins comfortably 24 to 10.
I'm going. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's
You
just
cut
you,
in
bud.
and out. Mess around. Okay.
I'm good.
I'm going Detroit in this one. I think it's kind of an easy matchup, but you know, Texans have been playing well too, and this is a home game for them. So, and if this was a Super Bowl matchup, I'd probably go Houston. But and then the end of the week on Monday, you got the Dolphins and the Rams. Mess around. Who do you got?
Who is starting again?
It's going to be Tua versus
Stafford.
It's Puka Nuka playing for the Rams. Yeah.
Yep,
Give me
Puka's
the Stafford, the Rams, and those weapons that Puka's playing in Cup.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, this is. I'm coming back for some reason after James talks about revenge weeks. This is another revenge week, for Beckham and Jalen Ramsey. But I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I like. It just seems like the Dolphins are a different team. I don't know. Well, we all know why. But I've got the Rams. I hate to be that guy saying I don't think Tua makes the rest of this game, but it's scary to see what I've got the Rams, and I'm hoping I'm wrong on the Tua injury, but I don't like it.
All right, James.
I think 11/11, they say, make a wish, and that's going to be the date tomorrow. But with the Dolphins, they can wish that they want to have this game and win it, but they won't. The Rams defense right now playing so well with Verse and the other rookie they got there. The Rams offense rolling right now. They had a great overtime win last week. It was awesome. Tyreek Hill is questionable along with Holland. Their safety who missed last week as well. I got the Rams. I think it would be a blowout. Just the Dolphins, they're trending the wrong way. They got to get back to their roots and get back to their running game and then mix that with the passing game. But if Hill's not going to play, then that's going to be an issue. Rams are just rolling on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to LA on Monday night.
LA on Monday. Tim?
I took the Rams. I'm looking at the game where it looks like Chuba Hubbard just kind of got one of those drop tackles on him. And looks like
hip tackle.
One of those drop hip tackles. Yeah, it didn't look pretty. And the day that Hubbard's had is, and I've got him on a fantasy football team.
Walking.
This was bad. This doesn't even look pretty. Oh, he got up and he's walking away.
On it. I can't believe that.
You know how they say Tua has the concussion problems? They did a thing last week on Instagram. I seen that there's one player that has worse concussion history than Tua. Chris Olave.
I'm going to say Rob Gronkowski.
Olave's had like 11 concussions in his short career.
Yeah.
That's too many.
That's crazy.
I got
Oh, it could have been worse. Yep.
They gave him a fumble too.
It was a legal block
I didn't know what was going on, but the Giants were
Carolina.
They're going to review that play.
It looks like it's 1st and 10 New York.
Oh, I didn't talk about the Bears and Patriots. I'm taking the Bears in that game, by the way.
Yeah, we kind of figured that one.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's the Patriots and it's the Bears.
Yeah,
Even
Well-
though Brady's not there. Anymore.
right.
Doesn't matter. Still the Patriots.
Um,
No Bill, no Tom. Still vote.
This
Pick
is far
against.
from the '86 Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I got the Rams. In
that's
this
the.
one.
That was the last time Dave liked the Patriots. Was the '86 Super Bowl because they lost to the Bears.
The last time I actually liked the Patriots when they were down in the Super Bowl and I was at the Super Bowl party against the Falcons. And I told them they're going to come out to win, and they did. And everybody was mad at me because I called it.
I got so happy drink wise. I thought they were winning
okay
that game, and at
It's okay to say you're
halftime,
drunk. It's cool to say you're drunk. We're all adults.
yeah. I felt pissed after they finally got Brady. Somebody finally got Brady, and then that third quarter, fourth quarter happened.
Yeah. Somebody spoke 28-3. Let's not go ahead and remind that score.
Everybody does.
And the Giants now with their field position are rolling.
Yeah, that's for second and goal, 2nd and 4 at the 6. No, that's not right.
Well, I'm about to head to Adams to go watch the Bears game. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.
All right.
Tim, while we're watching this game, do you have a prime 5?
James was nice enough to nominate a prime 5 this week.
Ooh.
So I went off of what he said about the worst 5 coaches in the league.
Ever or just this year?
No, just this year.
Okay.
That would be a good list for next week.
And if you want the worst coaches in NFL history ever, go back and watch one of our shows on C2C Rankum, because we did this on we did the worst coaches ever, and I think the number 2 coach on that list was Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is we just talked about the Miami Dolphins, and we're talking about a team that has been hit with the injury bug, but can't push themselves past anything. I've got number 5. I've got Mike McDaniel.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
I said, wait, what? Oh, they got a pick. They got an interception in that game. Carolina got the ball back.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, my number 4 team is the guy who won the Coach of the Year last year and has had the biggest fall off since. I think they really should have kept Joe Flacco in Cleveland. I've got Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, I'm full of hate and vitriol at this point. This is fun. My number 3 is a guy who is near and dear to one of our hearts, but has also coached in Green Bay. I think much like everybody else thinks that if Dallas loses to the Eagles today, that Mike McCarthy, that game's in Dallas, or no, it's in Philly?
Yeah,
Dallas. It's in Dallas. Well, he doesn't have to go too far to pack up his office. So number 3, I got Mike McCarthy. My number 2 is playing in this game right now.
Carolina.
I think if the New York Giants lose this game, Brian Dable doesn't make the trip back from Germany.
No,
Brian Dable. His first year he was what? He was one of the had that opening season. 6 games he was undefeated with Danny Dimes, and all of a sudden it's been a nosedive, Titanic style, to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
He should have kept Danny Dimes as his.
He should have drafted a quarterback, let Danny Dimes go, kept Saquon Barkley. I think that would have been a whole lot better of idea. And my number 1 should seem pretty obvious. If Minnesota beats Jacksonville, we got James's bid on the guy who's not going to have a job after tonight. I got Doug Peterson.
Yep. The only thing I want to say about the Giants is that the GM there has made just those worst moves, right? So I feel like it's mostly on him. The fact that they didn't keep Saquon Barkley, they figured, oh, he would just come back no matter what. We all saw that Hard Knocks clip, and the
Right.
owner saying, I would hate to see him in Philly green, and that eventually happened.
And that happened.
And he ran all over the Giants at the Meadowlands a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago. So I think it's mostly him. They're coming into a season where the Giants weren't slated to do anything well. The whole Belichick thing, you do have him out there lingering.
Yeah.
So they will. I think he'll go the rest of the year. The same with McCarthy. Jones doesn't like doing a mid-season switch as of late. So I think those two would be fine. It's just with Peterson, I think it's the way that they lose. I say if there's ever a blowout, then they would fire him.
Oh
But
yeah.
if they're competitive and all that, I don't think Peterson will get fired. Like last week, I thought maybe just because it would be a blowout, the Eagles kept him in the game.
Right.
So that's all I think. When I say Peterson, I think it's going to just be after a blowout where everybody's given up on him. I don't think that's the case. I just think that they're just so banged up.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I can just see Jerry Jones just letting out the contract because he doesn't have one after this year.
Right.
That could be too. That could honestly be that easy
No,
too.
it's that way. It's not technically a firing. They're just saying, yeah, we're not going to extend your contract or give you
Yeah.
a contract.
They're gonna do the WWE thing. We let them go and congratulate and good luck in your future endeavors. Yeah.
One person on that
Yeah.
list that maybe should be on there, maybe Zach Taylor of the Bengals. If he doesn't turn it around, if they don't get a wild card spot,
Yeah.
despite all their playoff
Well, and then
appearances, I think they had a standard where they were going to make the postseason this year. They were going to be healthy,
hmm
but I think maybe you put him on that list as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any. Eberflus should be high on that list as well. Now it should be.
Do you think now do you think Mixon leaving Cincinnati has hurt Cincinnati more than and replacing him with Zach Moss, because Mixon's younger, makes a better running back than Zach Moss, but I think that running fact is that they don't have him at the running game in Cincinnati. I think really hurts him.
Well, luckily they have that running back who's broke out, and I forget his. I think not Chris Brown, but it's something Brown. I think he's been really good this year. I know he had a fumble in the Ravens game, but it's part of the learning curve. So without him, I think they're even worse. So they're lucky to have that rookie running back there.
Yeah. Which Brown was it? I know who you're talking about. I'm just, which one is it?
I keep wanting to say Chad Brown, but that was a defensive end back in the day. Something C. Brown.
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown, yeah. Without him, they're nothing or offensively, because you got to have a running game with an explosive passing game. It just shows you, man, Chase and Burrow can keep you in any game, and that showed last week. Without them, they're nothing. And it again on that 2-point conversion, it sucks that they went to the tight end, the rookie tight end, I think. And they should have went back to Chase. He had a one-on-one on top in that 2-point conversion play for the win, and they didn't go back to him. I would have went with the hot hand there. That really was unfortunate to see.
Do you think Derrick Henry gets close to Peyton, or not to Peyton, but to Dickerson?
For what is this? Touchdowns in the year?
2106. The rushing yards, because he's at 11. He's at 1192. I want to say.
You know what? I think
he's 1120. He's 1,000 short with 7 games left.
They haven't played the Steelers yet, so I think that's going to hinder that mark. So I don't think he'll get there, because you got to play the Steelers twice. I think they have one more game against Cleveland's defense, even though it's in Baltimore.
He's
I
got
don't think
another.
he'll get there just based on the division. I don't think he'll get there.
I think he's still got. I think he's got Indy too.
Yeah, and Indy could show up defensively.
I believe they got Indy. Like you said, they got Cleveland. We don't get them this year. We don't get the Ravens this year. Thank God. The Ravens who the Ravens have left. Let me check to see who the Ravens have left the last 7 weeks. I think they're bye next week too.
God, I get the Chiefs game locally. I hate that.
They have the Eagles next week. Then they have the bye week. Then they've got the Giants, the Steelers, the Texans, and the Browns. And they got,
from the Texans game, the defenses are really good.
They've got the Steelers, the Chargers, the Eagles, then the bye week, then the Giants, Steelers, Texans, and Browns. Like you said, they still got the Steelers twice.
And then the Charger defense as well. I think the only weak defense in there is Houston. And the Titans are a good defensively team as well.
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm watching the game. It's amazing how it's still a 3-point game. We're almost at the 2-minute warning. New York could still come back, but it looks like Carolina's taking control.
Now I was watching, what was it, NFL, Inside the NFL, and Chad Ochocinco was there saying, it's going to be an all field goal game, 9-3. Carolina, I think he picked, or maybe I can't remember which one he picked, but it's good that we saw some touchdowns today. At least there was that.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be a low-scoring game, lower than probably that, but hey, not bad.
I'm trying to look at what Chuba Hubbard's numbers have been today, because that's scary. That's
scary good, scary bad.
No, it's scary good because Chuba Hubbard's gone 23 for 148 and a touchdown, and then 4 of 16 receiving.
Tell you what, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying they make decisions so fast in Carolina to pay him.
Yeah,
that was so amazing to see.
Well, he's a rookie, isn't he?
No,
I think so. No, he's what, 2 or 3 years in?
Yeah,
because I think he was with the Bengals, right?
I thought he was with Cleveland.
I would remember him. Cleveland. Well, Nick Chubb was there.
Chubb and Kareem Hunt were there, and
yeah, I remember. I think he was with. I think he wasn't getting anything because Mixon was there. I think he was with Cincinnati, but he's rarely playing, to be honest with you.
Let's see if I can find Chuba Hubbard. Why was Chubby Purdy? Hubbard. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find Chuba Hubbard.
You were
now he's back in the game running.
Chuba Hubbard. Chuba. Let me see if I can pull Chuba up. Chuba Hubbard. His career. He's been in Carolina for 4. This is his 4th year in Carolina.
The hell?
Yeah.
He's been in hiding because they keep trying to. They plugged in Miles Sanders last year, and he's been a disaster for them. He's not even seen the field this year. Him and Thielen aren't even playing this year that much for the Panthers. They're big offensive free agent signings last offseason. They're not even playing.
Chuba went 902 last year for 5 touchdowns.
You know what? We were not watching the.
We didn't watch Carolina. We gotta give us a pass on that one. We weren't watching. Who was watching Carolina? Sorry, Sarge. We know you were watching Carolina.
Any other final thoughts before we head out?
No. Go ahead, James. We'll let you.
Man, I hope for chaos today. There's just a lot of disappointing games, I feel like, this week, 10.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's some surprises. I'm just thankful the Raiders are on a bye, even though they could still lose that. I'm just happy that they're on a bye and I don't have to watch them.
It's the only way Antonio Pierce doesn't get fired because they're in a bye week.
Bingo. Even though the reports are, I read it yesterday that he's lost the locker room. They had a players only meeting where they destroyed the coaches. Think about it last year. It was week 9, I think, against the Giants or something like that. They were all smoking cigars. They were all praising the coaches, the new coaches that were in there. And now it's a total opposite this year, a year later. It just shows you how much the players have a hold on things, and then how bad Pierce is as a coach. Again, he's a cheerleader. He's not an X's and O's guy.
Yeah, they totally hired the wrong coach then.
Cleveland.
Belichick. You're right. They should have hired Belichick.
That could happen.
Cleveland. Oh, that would be a conflict of interest, though.
Did you see that? Could you honestly see that Belichick goes back to Cleveland?
I didn't see that. I thought the Giants or even the Raiders.
Well, if it's the Raiders, I could see the Raiders with your minority owner.
Yeah, everybody keeps forgetting. Everybody's like, why would Belichick go to Cleveland? I'm like, everybody doesn't. Most people don't remember
he started there his head coaching career.
Their last head coach in Cleveland before they moved to Baltimore was Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he made them famous.
Yeah, and the other thing is Green Bay was the last team to play Cleveland in Cleveland before they basically tore the house down in that place.
I remember. Well, I didn't see the game, but I saw clips of goalposts coming down, people taking the seats.
Oh yeah, that was after that game.
I didn't know that was Green Bay, but yeah, it's just funny how the Raiders they're bringing all these old Patriots in, and now they disposed them after last year, and now here comes the biggest Patriot of all time with Brady, and now the head coach of all that could come in. It's just a disaster for me to see that the PTSD is real when it comes to the Patriots and the Raiders.
Yeah.
The CTE is running rampant in the Raiders organization.
Whoa.
It's really bad.
Holy smokes! Now the Giants are just darting down the field.
Yeah.
They have no timeouts. I just realized they have no timeouts.
Just think about it. All that torture for Germany's fans, and there could be overtime where it could end in a tie.
I know we were all dreading
football.
We were all dreading the game like it's going to be the worst game ever, but it's not bad actually.
What was that? I saw it on Twitter, and I'm probably going to get shot for this. They were showing Carolina 2-7 against New York Giants 2-7. What did Germany do to deserve this? And I have to keep my mouth shut because I'm going, oh, this could be so bad on my part. I could get canceled in 8 million different countries.
A certain part of Germany, yeah.
Yeah. So any final thoughts, James?
Thank you, Anne Frank.
There you go. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks everyone who have followed us for this long. If we're back next week, I've been the Prime Moose. That's been Crispy Bacon. That's been Big Game James.
That's the only book I read back in the day, so that's why I would read that. She's a hero, man. She's a hero.
Oh, I completely agree. Did you brought her up, so I'm going to bring her up too. Have you ever know that the fact is that Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank were born in the same year?
I heard that. Yeah.
Wow. No.
Yeah.
Well, James pondered that one.
And while James is thinking of that before we say goodbye to after we've been canceled, if we're back here next week, James will give his answer. If you enjoy our show, Brandon and I will be back on Tuesday for C2C Rankum. Go ahead, James. Go ahead and plug whatever.
You know how there's that disclaimer on Kicking It or whatever? It's like opinions
yeah.
that, we're going to have to do that for every show now because of me.
Have you gotten that? It was the weirdest thing because it was like you guys all of a sudden added these new disclaimers, and on C2C Rankum the opinions, and I'm like, we come in, right? We come in, and first thing is a picture, and we're on C2C Rankum. I'm like, opinions, and my jaw is on the floor. I'm going, wait, my opinions aren't that bad. What in the world is this about?
That's because of me. I said something one time on Kicking It. So that was me.
He caught that.
Wait, that bounced.
Did that bounce? Because it says he caught that. Okay, he bounced. Thank God.
Oh, yeah, I'm ahead of you. My bad.
Oh, no, you're good. No, I was watching a replay. Okay.
So,
okay. Go ahead.
with that,
Chris, in the show, please.
enjoy your football Sunday, football Monday. We'll be back probably next week. So
Probably. If we don't get a talking to from HR, we'll be back. Should be back next week.
Yeah. So enjoy your football and have a great week.